And we're live. Eloise, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I am doing all right. So, we just wanted to do a practice stream so we can just start practicing our equipment, making sure we do it correctly, making sure resolution's all right. So, tell me, what are you working on, Eloise?
I'm working on my Paragon War suits. It's the first unit that I bought when the Codex came out, and they were so bad last year for their points that I never built them nor painted them. And this year, well, this edition, since you can put them in the unit with Morven, um, they're actually worth their point. So I'm painting them.
Nice.
And I had a good giggle because on the Adepta Sororita chat group, people were like, how did it change your build for your Paragon, that new edition? And my answer was, well, I guess I just built them.
What else you got over there? There's some other models.
Oh, yeah. So what we have is, I'm about to start an Eldar army.
I mean, you've started an Eldar army.
Now I'm about to start, okay? And let me change the light so that it's a little bit, ooh, it's very blue. There you go. So I finished building each and every single Sisters model that I own, converted them and based them. So we have a basic sister with a bolter. We have a surprise sacrosanct with a spear. We have one, two, three arcoflagellant, if I can find the third one. Three arcoflagellant, the ones that came in the combat patrol. We have one random Zephyrim, because why not? We have one Canoness with the Rod of Office. We have another random sister with Bolter and a Repentia Superior. And I think that's what I have left to paint.
And show off those cool bases you got there.
Yeah, we got good and some cool bases for the Paragon Warsuits. That's a lot. I actually have more. I just need to find them.
You have more? You just need to find them?
Well, I played with some of them when we did the practice games. I think that's it.
So while Eloise is working on finding the models, let me show off what I'm working on. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been working on getting some just intercessors and showing off how to do green stuff work, showing off how to just do minor conversions to personalize your army. And in this case, I did some skull backpacks. Let me actually lower them a little bit. And autofocus. So I did some skull backpacks. I put all the skulls on the bolters. So I was hesitant to start building too many models because I wanted to see what would happen with 10th edition and what units would be solid and what units would not be solid. And it comes to find out that intercessors aren't necessarily that good. So I took my intercessors that I had been working on and just recently started green stuffing and everything.
And
And I'm
transformed them into Devastators, because that's the only thing.
not Devastators, they're Stern Guard. And before I jumped on stream, I gave two of them heavy bolters. So now I have a 10-man unit right here. And I'm also finishing up a 5-man Stern Guard squad out of the starter box. And I need to crack open a second starter box so we have another 10-man squad total with two heavy bolters. So what I'll be doing on these guys is doing some more green stuff work on the shoulder pads. I'll be modifying their backpacks so they have skulls on their backpacks, just to match the motif that I have for the intercessors that I did. Yeah, and then I need to do custom bases for everybody. But in addition to that, I have my Primaris champion, who has been fully green stuffed. I don't know if you guys have seen him yet. I have my Apothecary Biologist and my Brutalist Dreadnought, both of which need some skulls and green stuff. And then someone who's ready to actually go to paint after I get him a base is my Terminator Librarian.
But painting is the worst.
Painting is the worst, and I'd rather just paint them all at the same time. So I would like to just make some progress and get all this stuff done, and also have a Terminator captain. On him, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do weapon wise. I don't know if I'm going to stick with the Power Sword Stormbolter that it came with, or if I'll have a Power Sword Stormbolter version and then the second box have a Thunderhammer Storm Shield, or even a Chain Fist Stormbolter or Chain Fist Storm Shield. There's a lot of options. So I might make 2 of these and just paint both up and see how they come out. In addition to all this is just the start. I have 10 of the flavor guys. I have 5 Terminators to build. I have... I don't even know. I have boxes of Space Marines I need to finish
You're way
off.
more motivated than me.
But I don't think I'll get much of that done today. I'm just trying to work on getting some of the basic some of these guys done, and maybe starting the Flamers. Actually, I think I might start the Flamer guys now, because they're completely still new on frame, and I want to see them done.
Alright, so what you gonna start with?
I'm going to work on the Flamer guys. Alright, well, I'm going to transition back to you so I can go find those models.
I tried to fiddle around with the camera so that my boobs would not be in the frame.
How's that working out for you?
Not great.
Not great. That's what she said.
So question.
Yeah.
Should I happen to have to play at ADC?
Okay.
What do I play?
What do you play? Well, that's going to be based on your team dynamic. You might be playing Sisters, for that matter. You might be playing Space Marines. Well, what would you like to play?
Well, we have Tau, we have Demon, and we have
I think Justin's playing. It depends on what the rest of your team's playing. So we'll just have to see what happens and go from there.
So what is Michael playing?
I don't know.
Oh. I want to know what I should play. So if I play Sisters, what kind of army do I play?
Well, I know you bought a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, but I will have, they will be delivered to me at ATC.
You know what the cool part about that is? There's a cool thing about that. It doesn't have to be painted.
It doesn't have to be painted?
No.
There's no paint score?
At ATC, because of the new edition and everyone's trying to get their armies together, there is no painting requirement. So realistically, we can just slap together whatever you want and you can play it, because there's no painting requirement.
Ah. Well, sod it then. You guys have a good rest of your day.
As she breaks her Paragon Warsuit. You know how many times you broke your models, while you were on the streaming weekend? Can we not say we did?
Actually, I need to fix the paint on Morven after you reattach her sword.
I think her sword's already reattached, so...
Yeah, but you reattached her sword, and when you did so, you said, you're gonna need to touch up the paint.
Because you do.
I hate painting. So what's your impression of 10 so far?
What's my impression of 10th so far? That's a good question. So with 10th edition, there's been a lot of subtle changes to everything.
Yes.
And
GW made all the Sisters rules so that I would not need to cheat anymore, and they just adjusted it to the way I was playing it, which I highly appreciate.
That's very nice of them, just to change everything to make it, more Eloise friendly.
Eloise friendly.
Besides that, I think the big thing with 10th edition, and I've been kind of, what's that French phrase you say? Chanson? Yeah, I've been a little meh about it. Because I'm looking for parts to finish converting one single model. I wanted the game to be more balanced than it actually is. I don't feel like it's very balanced right now.
Even after the FAQ?
Even after the FAQ. I don't think it's necessarily that balanced. I don't think... I was hoping for more... They didn't change anything.
I was hoping sisters would not yet again be a collateral damage to nerfing something else. That was my secret hope. Because in 9th, they were good. And then they got banged down so bad every time GW was trying to nerf something else. We're like, hey, and how about we take 6 sisters on the way down?
Okay, so not I wasn't anticipating them to do anything to sisters.
Me neither! They were bad enough! You need to nerf them.
But what I thought there would be some fundamental changes to towering. I thought there'd be some fundamental changes to the way mortal wounds work. I thought there'd be some fundamental changes to indirect. Because those just seem like very unfun mechanics. And instead of actually changing anything, all they did was raise the points.
So what was the difference with indirect in 9th that was reportedly balanced-ish because no one was bitching about it? And this indirect.
So in 9th edition, actually, so at the beginning of 9th edition and the current in 10th edition, it's exactly this. Or in the beginning of 9th, there was no penalty for firing indirect weapons. So whatever your ballistic skill was, you fired at that.
Oh, and then it became -1. I remember that.
And then there was an FAQ because of some abusers like Tau and Imperial Guard just had so much indirect that they had to modify it.
Imperial Guard was not good at the time.
Well, anytime indirect is very strong, it just takes half the armies out of the game, and that's what we were saying. We were just saying I remember at Adepticon it was Harlequins and it was Tau. Those were all the armies, and Tau was just how many airbursting fragmentation launchers can you fit in there, and how many shots can you get a turn that your opponent can't do anything about. And there were builds where you could fit a ton. So in order to address it, and Games Workshop actually addressed it really quickly, they made it so if you were firing indirectly, you were a -1 ballistic skill, not to hit, but -1 ballistic skill, so it also stacked with hit modifiers, and
that's nice.
You added +1 to the armor save, which also worked with cover, so you got the benefit of both worlds. So if you were shooting at a unit you couldn't see in a forest, you'd be -1 to hit normally, plus -1 to your ballistic skill, and if there was a way that unit was getting cover, you could get +2 to your save. So it really neutered it.
Yeah.
So what they did with this edition is, well, they didn't make it so it's -1 to your ballistic skill, +1 to your save. It's just you count as being in cover, and it's -1 to hit. So you can't stack it multiple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have that, which on the surface seems okay.
Yeah.
But...
Someone else would you say it like that, it doesn't sound that different.
But the vast majority of the indirect units ignore it. If they stay stationary, they get +1 to hit. And they have the ignore cover keyword. So it does nothing. And Desolators are one of those units where it's like, hey guys, we have we have the heavy keyword. We're also indirect. So if we just stay stationary, we ignore cover and it modifier to hit. Oh. And then you multiply that with Oaths of Moment, where they get full rerolls, and the liberal use of the blast keyword on a squad of 12, you get a lot of shots.
So you can have indirect. You have indirect blast.
Yeah, I mean most indirect is blast, but there's just some units that do it way better than others, and Desolators are one of them. Now, by raising it up 100 points, Desolators are still very viable. I mean, they're 34 points a piece now, compared to being 24 points a piece, which is just criminally cheap. I have no idea how that made it past production, but now they're 34 points a piece. So what you do is you just take 2 units instead of 3, and it works out to be about the same. You're still getting great value of anti-tank, and you're still getting great value of anti-infantry.
So would you take them now that you can take on E2?
100%. Ideally, what I would do is I would take one 10-man squad in order to get a character attached with buffs, either having a 4 pinball save or having bolter drill enhancement, which means sustain hits on a 5+,
Strong.
and then 2 5-man squads. Because the sergeant gets a special weapon that is D6 shots and damage 2 indirect. So it's just really good at killing backfield Space Marines. And it's a higher strength, so it's wounding stuff on better.
So now that it's not completely broken, you're not opposed to playing it anymore.
I mean, you almost have to. Like, the unit's still so good, and I feel bad because I don't really want to play a unit because of it's just notoriously being that good. But you're almost like obligated to play it now.
So what are you playing for ATC?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Do you even know what army you're playing?
I don't even know what army I'm playing yet.
I'm trying.
I just realized I've been working on models, and I never transitioned back.
Good. Let me scoot back because I need to shake my paint, and I don't want to.
Give everybody a concussion.
Not this kind of channel.
All right.
So my painting technique is not really the what's his name? Daryl, the too thin coat dude.
What is his name? Too thin coat. I don't know. I just know him as the guy who always says too thin coats.
So I'm not a too thin coat kind of girl. I'm more a one thick coat kind of girl, which is why I'm part of Team One Thick Coat. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, what gold are you using?
Aha! Ha! You know me well, sir.
That was very, very excitable.
So, like a lot of people, I started with the Citadel Gold, and the Citadel Gold is a pain in the neck because it's super thick and it does not apply thinly. But when you try to water it down, then it just loses, like the pigments are not fine or dense or whatever the word is enough. So I went to, thanks to some of my friends of Team One Thick Coat, by the way, then I went to Vallejo, the gold 77725.
I like how you know the exact number. It's 7725 paint. I couldn't tell you. I love painting. I couldn't tell you what colors I'm using.
You do not love painting. But...
No. What I'm saying is when I'm painting, I couldn't tell you what colors they are.
But this gold is a little bit cold. It's a greenish gold. It's not a...
Here, transition back so you can show the gold off. Okay.
It's not a... Yeah, it's a greenish gold, and I like my gold to be warm. So we talked about this great gold debate with a friend called Kremer. And Kremer recommended that I tried the Studio Scale 75 metals. They have a couple of golds that are really beautiful and have extremely good coverage. So at Adepticon this year, I 100% listened to the sirens of money spending.
Sirens of money spending. How much were those paints?
So it was a batch of all of that. So it's quite a bit of colors, I believe. Let me check if I have any more. Not you. Not you. Not you, not you. Not you. So it was Ducat C-Suite. It was a batch of 8 colors, and I believe it was in the $40 area. So it was very, very reasonable.
But you get some really good coverage on those, though.
And they have extremely good coverage. They have extremely... Like, they're thin, so you don't need to thin them down that much. And it's a nice warm gold, instead of being super cold. So,
And which one are you using?
Currently, we are using Dwarven Gold.
Dwarven Gold.
Because it's the most orange of all of them.
Alright.
But I'm also very, very excited to give a try to the Vallejo, the warm gold from Vallejo, that's for airbrush, that we bought last time we went to the game room.
And what would you do with that?
I currently don't have a plan for it, but the color was cool.
The color was cool? Right.
Which is the rational thing to do with your money, right? I have zero plan of using it, but I really want to buy it.
Perfect. That is the most rational response I've ever heard.
Hey, you want honesty? Or you want...
Oops. So what I'm doing now is I'm cutting off the exhausts of the backpacks, and I'm going to be putting skulls in them so they all match the rest of the squad. So what do you think?
What do you think?
I have the heavy bolter with just the heavy bolter backpack. I'm going to show Eloise. Do you think I should put skulls, like cut those off and use them as put skulls to match everybody?
Nah.
Here's the skull example.
No.
Okay. Cool. It's less cutting. But I will do it on this particular heavy bolter because with the Primaris Sternguard heavy bolter model, it's just powered here and it's drum fed heavy bolter. So I'll cut these two off and make them match everybody else.
I thought you were about to say I'm going to cut that one because I started, so now I need to finish it.
Yeah, no. Well, he just has a different backpack than the other heavy bolters, so. Alright, so he's cut. So that's one. He needs one, which is right there. And Mr. Sargent.
So the list that we talked about, the Eldor list that we talked about, jumped 100 and... We still have a dog outside! I forgot to bring him back in when I came back in.
Well, I almost got a squirrel. Alright, well, let's put the waiting screen on so we can,
No, you can check with the people I'm going to go and be a responsible dog mom. Shoot!
Our dachshund's outside. Unsupervised.
Call
Right now.
Child Protective Service.
So another thing I wanted to do is with the Sternguard Sergeant. With the starter box set, it comes with the Kami Melta. And I'm going to modify it so I take these off and I'm going to make it look more like just a regular bolter tip. And then I'll be putting a skull on it as well. Just to say, hey, these guys are badass, And with these bolters that I've already had done, I might put some scopes on them as well, just to say, they're more unique bolters, and just put some more gear on them, just to say, hey, these are the elite of the elite. But my goal is to have 10 with the robes, and then I'll have 10 without the robes, and then those will be the different squad delineations. Hi, Tutu. Hi, Blizzard.
Hey, Tutu, did you have fun outside for the last 3 hours of your life?
Did you drink water?
No, because the door was open when I got there, so we could go in and out as you wished.
Oh.
And he was fully hydrated.
Seems like a good time to hit for him.
Well, he almost got a squirrel, so...
I saw that through the window.
So what was I doing? Oh, that. So yeah, if you guys wonder why we don't have children...
Is the door now shut at least?
The door is now shut.
Alright, cool. But yeah.
Tutu is just having the time of his life right now.
So one of the things that we want to do... So, Eloise and I were chatting about what kind of content we want to put out, how frequently we want to put out. And we were talking about doing battle reports on a somewhat regular basis with Mr. Sean Rice. That might start next week. So it just gives us an opportunity to test out some stuff. Have a dice cam, because I know there are a lot of people who wanted us to have a dice cam, and just work out some of the data inlays, and just try out some more competitive lists and along with some fun lists.
You managed to make all 3 cams work at the same time?
Nope, not yet. What I want to do is I might just have it so with the dice cam, set it up on a different computer, and then call it in by Skype. And then just have Skype inserted into there. Because with right now we're just using a laptop to record everything, and it doesn't have the capability of supporting 3 cameras.
This laptop is great.
I mean, the laptop's fine. I'm just saying it can't support 3 cameras.
This laptop was bought for the purpose of playing one game and one game only.
Age of Empires 2.
Nope. City Skylines.
City.
I 100% bought this computer just to play City Skyline, and I bought the minimum.
When was the last time you bought played City Skylines?
Before we moved down here at the whole house.
Sounds like you need to start playing City Skylines again.
Well, now that the computer is here and it's freezing cold down here, I don't want to play.
You got that Snuggie though.
Cool. No, but it's not the same, like between playing on the couch and being chill and blah blah blah, and sitting at a computer. As a person who used to play video games at a high-ish level, sitting at a computer is for serious games, and I don't want to sit at the computer to play City Skylines.
So what you're saying is we need to get a second computer.
I don't recall saying that.
I know you don't recall it, but no.
This is absolutely not the message I was trying to send either. So, before Tutu made a surprise appearance within our line of sight, we were talking about my elder list who went up 100 and who went up 100 and
yes points. 100 and yes.
100 and at least one.
So the list that we built is slightly different than what was suggested to us by Brad. Brad, I was playing on stream today, and then as soon as they went on stream, they canceled and blew up the entire computer. So Brad and Steven were supposed to play a game on stream today at Salt City.
On Joe's stream?
No, not Joe's. On another company that goes around and does it.
Oh, I didn't know that there were 2.
I think there's more than 2.
I please accept my apologies if you work for this company. I knew nothing about the 40K Word and the 40K environment.
I don't even know if it's a company. It might just be some friends hanging out. But anywho, so they were streaming some games. So yesterday they had 3 games recorded of 10th edition, which I didn't watch any of them. I probably should have, just to see what was popular and what looked good and learn how to do it better. But Brad and Steven were supposed to play in a stream, and it crashed. And Mr. Brian gave an announcement saying, "Yep, no more stream games this weekend. We broke the computer." So I don't know what happened. I don't know if it fried or if it was a internet issue or if it was what. But so yeah, Brad and Steven played. They did a rematch of their Cherokee Open. And Brad lost again.
Eldar
versus Imperial Knights.
I mean, it's it's hard with the towering and all of that to play T3 wound people. You know?
Yeah. So let's look at the top standings right now, because there's there's 74 people registered. I don't know if all 74 are still playing, but right now we got Brenton. He's in first.
Nice.
Steven's in second. They're the only two undefeateds.
Strong.
And they got 2 more games tomorrow. So how Brian did it is he did 3 games Friday, 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. And the reason why I wanted to do 2 games on Saturday was so that everyone could go hang out, get some barbecue, go drinking, do whatever.
Sounds lovely.
Sounds pretty awesome. So after those 2 undefeated guys, we have Mike Norton, who's a Death of Glory member. We have Sam Buabane.
Who is Mike? Which
His name is Mike Norton. I don't know who he is.
I think I know.
Then we have Ryan Snyder, Harry Adler, Colin Burns, Scott Ferguson. Scott, by the way, his very first game, 100 to 10 points. Brad Chester in 9th, and Chris Martins in 10th. There's a couple more people. Actually, we'll just round it off. We have Matt Tarantine in 11th, Ben Salamantin in 12th, and Matthew Bailey in 13th place. So, there's a lot of Eldar up here. Eldar, Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights, Eldar, Space Marines, Thousand Suns, Eldar, Space Marines, Imperial Knights.
And it's Eldar.
Thousand Suns.
Eldar with a race knight.
I don't know. I don't have access to the list. I know Lyle did a review of the list on Thursday. I didn't get an opportunity to watch that. But that's a lot of Eldar and a lot of Knights. So I would be curious to see how because I saw the train, and on the train it didn't appear to be that open. Like Brian had a very tall ruins, and I think they had some rules where you couldn't shoot through the windows on the ground floor. But Knights pre-point increase and towering keyword seem kind of gross.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Steven is going to the Games Workshop Tacoma Open next weekend, I think it is.
Oh.
He's going all the way over to Washington State to play some 40K.
Wow.
But needless to say, they don't really have line of sight blocking terrain at those events.
Yeah, because it's a GW terrain.
Yeah, the average height of the GW train's like 3 inches, maybe 4.
Up to and including 4.
Yeah, like if you look at the GW terrain packet, it's between 2.5 and 4 inches.
Yeah, Alan just made a a mock-up of what it would look like. If you want to look up.
That seems way higher than I actually think it is.
That's what she said.
Yeah, so Pajama Pants had just posted, I guess he's working on making some test terrain for GW events. And he just did a whole bunch of plastic art and just did the measurements and the layouts, and no windows to be seen. I don't know if he's going to put windows in or not.
Wow.
Or
He said that the next time his daughter takes a nap, he will work on it a little bit more. You know, when your schedule is not...
being a responsible adult and everything.
I know, the boring thing.
Yeah, like making sure you don't lock her outside or something.
Locking outside, how about that?
I think she's like 1 or 2.
Not even.
Not even. All right.
You know what I hate in life?
What do you hate in life?
Painter!
Yeah, I am impressed with how much painting you've accomplished.
You want me to be honest?
Sure. You too?
100%.
Alright, let's zoom in on you.
You're putting it back to you?
No, it's back on you.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
Of course, as you put it back to me, I make a big. Also, you're typing. Oh!
I don't know how.
Because you have things on the keyboard.
Oh.
Don't put the thing on the keyboard.
That was pretty cool. It's like a ghost came in and just...
Oh!
There you go. Alright, let's put that away.
I would 100% have sent it.
It was just a bunch of zeros. I'm communicating to the machine, Emperor.
So, Soul City GT, they're playing before or after the point adjustment?
So the point adjustment came out on Wednesday? Or Thursday? I forget what day it was. It's been a long week already. It's been a week already. And all they're playing with is the FAQ to how fate dice work. That's it.
So no point change.
No point change. Well, because they had everyone submit lists, like a week and a half ago. And, people are coming in from elsewhere and, they're... Yeah, people just get very, they want to play this list, right? And they don't want to be surprised. I would think it'd be pretty funny to be like, hey, you change your list. It'd be pretty easy. You just drop a night, if that.
Yeah. So people who play the race night list play multiple nights?
They did.
Wow.
Well, there were some people who would just play one. And I think even with that combo, you only really wanted to play one because... you could only truly support a single night.
With the dice?
With the dice, with the fate dice.
So that you can get up to 36 mortal wounds.
I mean,
I might need Alan to correct me on the math.
So it would be D3 shots, so 3 shots, assuming you hit with all, and assuming you have 3 6s for the wound rolls, which you would use your fate dice, and then you would have to roll 6 or 3d or no, it's 6d6. So between 6 and 36 damage. I mean, you're averaging 21.
That's pretty strong.
And that's without using fate dice. I think 21's pretty reasonable. And then some people were playing with 2 of the cannons, so you could do it twice. So that is one big change that they did do, which I feel like does change the one Wraith Knight build, and that's you can only use 1 fate dice per model, or sorry, 1 fate dice per phase.
Yeah, that's something that I want you to check.
So it used to be, before the most recent FAQs, you can use 30 fate dice if you had them all in one single model. Good luck trying to kill that guy. Eloise we decided to print off the codexes.
I'm trying to learn.
Trying to learn.
Before making a dice roll, it does not. Oh, if your army, each unit from each unit from your army with this ability can perform 1 act of faith per phase.
Yeah. So it's 1 miracle die
per unit per phase
for Sisters of Battle,
which is different than what it used to be, because before it was 1 per phase. Period.
Correct. And then there were some exceptions with
Retributors that had the Armorium Cherub.
Yeah.
Things like that. No, not Retributors. That Cherub. No, the holding the flag super high on your back. What's the name? Sanctorium. No. Imolaturium.
I think it was a simulacrum.
Simulacrum.
We have someone joining us. He wants to know what you're working on.
I am working on finishing up my Sisters of Battle that I owned so that I can move on to a next army. Because I'm that kind of monster, so I will paint and finish each and every single sister in my great pile of shame before moving on to the next army.
And I am working on just Space Marines. They're all the same. I have 10 Stern Guard with a whole bunch of bolters and green stuff work done. And now I'm working on 5 of the Leviathan box set where we're just upgrading them and changing out their weapons and making them more personalized to match my Legion of the Damned army.
So let's imagine that...
And now we're talking about Eloise's potential lists, because for the streaming weekend, she was playing Sisters of Battle, and she's played a couple practice games. You played, 3 games so far? 40k?
3, yeah.
Yeah. You played against Demons, then Sisters of Silence, and then Demons again.
I actually prefer Bill's build.
Like, as it was more fun to play against?
Cal's build, yeah. Cal's build was not fun to play against. But maybe because it was a super competitive list.
So, probability, what models are you working for Tau? Tau's another army got to work on. I've actually played 3 games with Tau so far, and I like them. They're pretty fun. They're nice, strong B tier. Like, they do put a lot of damage out. I might have to cut that. So, what models are you working on?
Me?
No, I want to know what Tau models he's working on.
Oh.
With my Tau, what I have to do is I have to replace everybody's weapons because it turns out that flamers and burst cannons are terrible now. Like, you just don't take them. Unfortunately. I don't know why they reduced the quantity of shots with flamers and burst cannons when...
Where did you put the Tau that were right behind me?
Oh, I put them away.
Oh.
You want to grab them?
I wanted to brag about how good you're doing. You'll be doing well.
They're in the case. Bottom shelf. Far left.
Yes.
Alright.
Where did you put the little planes that are a work in progress?
The piranhas?
I don't know the name.
Are they gray?
Yes.
They're on the bookshelf.
Yes.
So I have so all the crisis suits. I've been playtesting with a unit of 6 crisis suits led by a Cold Star, and a unit of 3 crisis suits led by a crisis suit commander. And that is so blurry. Here, let me try mine. I don't think it focuses fast enough.
No, it's because we are giving it a choice.
No choice for you. We're changing the camera defaults. Configure camera control.
Hey, if I zoom in, you will not see my boobs anymore. There you go.
Well, you want it the other way. You want it as close to 0 as possible. There you go. Apply. Okay. And
Cool.
Then, okay, again. All right.
No more boobs.
No more boobs.
Give me the toy.
All right, there you go. Here, we'll transition. Oh. It's still a little blurry. That's okay. All right, so Tau list wise, so what I've been playing with, I don't think it's the best, but it's something where I didn't have to replace all the models and use some of the stuff that I was using before. So I had Shadow Sun, because Shadow Sun has 2 pretty cool abilities. She gives reroll 1s to hit if you're within 6 inches, and she gives retrieve a command point back on a unit within 6 inches on a 5+. So you just get a little bit of flexibility. It says zoom back out. I guess he wants to see your boobs.
No.
So we have that. Then I took the Cold Star Commander because the Cold Star's ability to attach to a unit, being able to advance and still shoot, is really strong. With the way objectives work in this game, being able to advance and still shoot is a very solid ability. And you have that mobility, which, because you can't fly over ruins now, you can't fly through them or over them effectively, you have to go around. It is guaranteeing that 18 inches of movement pretty strong. So on the commander, I gave him the we start exploding on a 2 plus. I'm sorry, not 2 plus. On turn 2. The sustained hits happen on turn 2 instead of turn 3.
On 6s?
On 6s.
Okay.
No, on a 2 plus. So many dice. And then he has 2 plasma rifles, 2 cyclic ion blasters, marker drone, shield drone. So he has 7 wounds. He doesn't need a 4-up invuln save because he has 6 idiots blocking shots on him. And all 6 of his idiots have 2 cyclic ion blasters, plasma, and double shield generators. Shield generator and double shield drones. That unit puts out a lot. Like, I know there's been a lot of talk on the Main Death or Glory stream about Necrons. And Necrons being able to revive a 20-man squad if you don't kill them off in one turn. That unit kills that 20-man squad, period.
Really?
Yeah, because you get the double exploding 6s if they're marked, and you get 3 rolls to hit. And they're hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 6s explode once or twice, starting turn 2. And then you have all the plasma. And, of course, you're overheating them. So far, I've only caused, in 3 games, of mass overheating with that unit because I roll 14 times for hazardous tests. I've only caused 9 wounds to myself.
So the hazardous test is 1 per body, or 1 per weapon, or 1 per attack?
1 per weapon.
1 per weapon. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have 1 hazardous weapon with 5 attacks,
it's just 1 roll per the weapon.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's see what he's saying.
A full 20-man on turn 2, yeah.
Not going through the runes was the most annoying. It is very annoying. And another thing that's really annoying with the way train works, too, and we learned this during the streaming weekend, is when
we learned so much.
When the train isn't perfectly flat, you technically can't place the model there. There's no wobbly model. You need to be able to place the model perfectly flat. So I think we'll just have a house rule just because we put a lot of decoration into our terrain. But the intent isn't to prevent charges or prevent movement. The intent is to, make the train look nice.
Be pretty. The intent is to be pretty.
But, so I have that unit, and that unit just is really solid. The next unit I have is a Crisis Suit Commander with double fusion, double plasma guns, and he's leading a 3-man Crisis Suit team with 2 fusion guns and plasma rifles with shield drones and shield generator. And I'm not entirely sure on that unit. I think I might swap it out. I was talking to one of my buddies who plays for Team Wales, and he suggested taking a Crisis Suit Commander and giving them all... a Cold Star Commander or Crisis Suit Commander, I guess it doesn't really matter. And just give them all missiles. So you have a commander with 3 missiles, and then you have all the Crisis Suits with 3 missiles. And you're just putting out so many missile shots at 30-inch range, strength 7, 2 damage, AP -1.
That's pretty good. I like my multi-melta who tickle my toes.
Well, you figure a lot of the knights in the game are being wounded on 5s, regardless if it's fusion or melta. And the melta is so close range that you're going to lose that unit immediately. But if you have the missile pods and you're firing 24 missile pod shots, you at least have the maneuverability to stay behind, and you're not necessarily losing the entire unit in one turn.
Yeah. So the missile pod are indirect?
No, they're direct, but you can jump, shoot, jump.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's 2 command points, though. It's so expensive.
Well, my Seraphim can do it for free with their strength for flamers. I'm so sour about sisters.
I still think they're good. They actually did really well in a tournament recently.
Well, in good players' hands.
I should probably just type out my list. But some other things I've been trying, I run the 3 stealth squads with 1 fusion blaster, 1 marker drone, 1 shield drone. It's really funny that the random sergeant has 3 wounds just because. The reroll 1s to wound is pretty strong. I've been taking full advantage of that. It helps out. I've tried 3 individual piranhas. I think piranhas are amazing for the points. You give them 2 seeker missiles and a fusion blaster for 55 points. They are able to block moves. They can slow down charges. Like you could do a lot of screening with them because they're just such a big base on the model. And now you measure from the hull. You don't measure from the base of them too. So they just take up more space for screening purposes.
I just really like your town that have been taken over by Croods.
I think I would probably do double Storm Surge. 3's probably a bit much. You just want to make sure you can support everything. How many points is 3 Storm Surges now? Because they went up 60 points each, aren't they? Like 465. One of my buddies, Justin Cook, he's looking at bringing 2 Town R's to various events. Even with a 105 point increase, that model kills stuff really well. It is so tall. You cannot hide. And that's why I'm really bummed that they just did not do anything with towering. Holy cow, that model is gigantic. Storm Surges are pretty big too.
Morgan Val, who is one girl in a jumpsuit. I can have only one of her. But Taunar, who is a model that's bigger than the biggest piece of terrain that you have that has a name. You can take 2.
You can take 3. If you had enough points, you could take 3.
That's unfair.
Tell me how you really feel, though.
That's unfair. And it says 465 on each of the Storm Surges.
Yeah, I was right. All right, hit me with the list. Copy your list in there. Let's see if we could improve it. I'm going to use the Brad Chester level of advice for fixing armies.
Let's see if we can improve it or steal your list to play it. That's always an option, and you know it.
Well, the problem is with the Storm Surges is they're sold out. Like all the models that I would consider buying are sold out. Between Storm Surges, between the extraction squads from the Arbites.
Do you think they are sold out even in Tennessee?
They're sold out on the Games Workshop website. That's all I can say. I haven't really been going to the game store.
Well, you have, I think what I looked yesterday was close to what you're running, yeah. So you have store credit.
Yeah.
You are contemplating buying thing.
Yeah.
I am contemplating buying thing.
Yeah. Are you saying we should go to the store and go look to see what they got?
Cold Star?
He's taking out his list.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I have my list written up. I could probably just do a screen share. Let's use that fancy technology.
And tomorrow morning I'm going to edit the video of the game with Brad.
Okay. That's weird.
No, don't. I'm gonna. Shit, which one is it? That.
There you go. Alright.
You know that I was looking at my old Repentias?
Yeah.
At my old Seraphims. The better my technique has gotten, the lazier I have gotten.
Well,
Like I
you make it seem like you haven't been really busy with work.
no, but like right now I'm a firm believer that if my brush cannot reach into it, neither can my eyes, so why should I bother?
I mean, that's fair.
While when looking at those Seraphims, I really went above and beyond.
Well, I think you did batch painting too.
Yeah.
So this is a list I took. I played this against Demons. I thought it was pretty good. I did lose against Demons, but it was a really tight game. I think the final score was like, including paint, was like 40-35. Neither of us could actually hold objectives because any time that we were on an objective, we just died immediately. And it was pretty cool watching the Crisis Suit commander or the Crisis Suits with the Cold Star commander just deuce out a Bloodthirster in one turn and then deuce out Bellicor next turn. And that was after taking casualties. Like, there was only 3 guys left and they still managed to kill Bellicor. If I had to change it, I don't really like the Vespid, so I'd probably drop the Vespid for something else. I'd probably take another Piranha or 2. The Piranhas are just such good value for their points. And then I would probably drop another Stealth Squad for the 3rd Piranha. And then I think I have 60 points left over, and I would take like a basic Ethereal just to get some more command point generation. The list really needs command points, and there's not a good way to generate. So your list: Cold Star with turn 2 Explosions Enhancement, Shadow Sun 2 Firesight Marksman, Enva 2 Solo Broadsides, Christ Suit 6-man, 2 Ghost Kills, 3 Crude Hounds, 3 Piranha, 2 Stealth Suits, 2 Vespid. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was looking at initially as well, except for the Ghost Kills. I just don't own the Ghost Kills, so I haven't really been looking at them in depth. But that's one of the units that I was thinking about picking up is some Ghost Kills. Just because they, between last edition and this edition, holy cow, they've gotten a glow up. They used to be terrible. You never saw them. Now it's like, hey, we have this unit that can't be targeted outside 12 inches. But when you do target him, he ignores 2 attacks of whatever damage they are.
Strong.
So, like, let's say he gets hit by a multi-melta that, you rolled a 6 for the damage roll. He just ignores it.
Oh, he does not ignore 2 out of the 6 and you take 4.
No. He ignores it all. So, like, if he takes, like, a railgun to the face and he fails his invulnerable save, like, he just ignores it. Yeah. But he can only do it twice.
Per game, per phase?
Per game. Yeah. I'm assuming you probably didn't do the Fusion Collider, you probably did the Cyclic, and the Cyclic is really solid in the elite infantry. I was also looking at the Bombers. I feel like the Bombers are still pretty good. They didn't get hit with a massive points increase. Sure, they come in on turn 2, but they still drop up to 6 mortal wounds per turn. That doesn't seem bad. I don't know. It's not the best, but it doesn't seem bad. It's certainly annoying, but there's no hit modifier.
The Bombers is the plane?
Yeah. Alright, so everyone's backpacks are done. Bolters are all correct now. Get rid of those combi weapons. Stern guard like regular bolters, not combi bolters.
So, let's say you cannot put your hand on Devastators because they are not to be found outside of a box.
You mean grab cannon devastators?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your plan?
I mean, I have all the grab cannon devastators, so
You do?
yeah, I own them all. We used them all at at Adepticon.
Oh.
we fielded 4 Devastator squads at Adepticon.
Ooh.
Actually, one person I think had 2, so I think we might have fielded 5 Devastator squads in Adepticon.
So why were you so vocal about them being broken and
No,
so...
Devastators are fine. It's the Desolators.
Oh, I'm mixing words. Sorry.
The Desolators are really silly. Like they just so Desolators come in a box set that's worth $200. That's been sold out, and like if you try to piece out Desolator parts on eBay, they're going. Originally, they were going for like $40 for 5. Now they're going for $70 for 5.
So...
So you're looking at a 10-man squad cost like 140 plus shipping and tax.
Fuck that noise.
That seems a little much. Needless to say, I thankfully got a unit of 10 plus the dreadnought and the heavy intercessors and the character before they became really popular. So I have 10. How did I like the hammerheads? So against demons, they're bad. That 4+ invulnerable save is so swingy. All right, let me take a step back. So I played them against demons, Necrons, and demons. Against demons, they just didn't do much. I played against World Eaters, Necrons, and demons. Against World Eaters, they got charged like turn 1, which was pretty strong. And that felt bad because they got tied up in combat and died. Against Necrons, we called the game before I even really got to use them, just because the crisis suits were able to kill his regenerating blob of nonsense. Yeah, what's up?
Nothing. You're not doing nothing, so I'm just...
Yeah. And against demons, I positioned him very poorly, and he was able to tie him up pretty quick. Because Be'lakor could bring demons within 6 inches, and they were charged pretty quickly. So that felt a little bad. So I think they're pretty good. I think in certain matchups, like in the Eldar matchup, they help out a lot. Because the Eldar vehicles don't have invulnerable saves.
Keep chatting.
No.
Keep chatting.
Eloise is playing with cameras. And anytime Eloise plays with cameras, it goes really well.
That's not very nice. No. Can you please press Super? Del. Delete. Thank you.
Eloise is playing with the cameras now. Anywho, so I think in the Eldar matchup they do fine. I think in the the Space Marine matchup they do fine because it's still a strength 20 gun. It's still relatively fast, very long range, and being able to explode twice starting on turn 3 seems really strong. And getting the +1 to hit against monsters and vehicles means they're hitting on 3s. I don't necessarily like Long Strike's buff because if you're fishing for mortal wounds, having lethal hits on one of your hammerheads feels bad because you don't get the mortal wounds.
I just want you to do what you're doing closer to the camera so that...
Yeah.
So if you're fishing for mortal wound...
Yeah, so if you have lethal hits and you have weapon mortal wounds, it doesn't translate into a critical wound. So you don't get the best of both worlds. Eh. I should use a bigger skull for this, but that's okay.
So how would you convert something into the ones that you don't have? Not Desolator, the other ones.
The town model?
No.
Desolators?
The Marine that you don't have.
Oh. So I have 10. What I would do is I have missile launchers for regular Devastators. And what I would do is I would take a unit of Primaris Marines. Give them missile launcher. And then they have the Aggressor Missile Pod packs. And I would find or buy a few of those. And you would have, that would be your Castellan missile launcher. Hey, we have 2 cameras now.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm an engineer. A bad one.
She's an engineer, but it made it work. Okay, there you go. You have a skull hammer. Anyways.
I support you to get Dev wound makes sense. Yeah.
Let's close that out.
Well, my big problem with all of those models that everybody can generate at the drop of a hat is that...
So there is a character we have to look into that helps fish mortals for your army.
Who?
Agatha. Exactly. The look of shock and awe on your face. Anyway, so I always looks it up.
100%!
So I don't like the lethal hits command phase ability because I want the mortals. And generally speaking, if your hammerhead hits, he's going to wound. You're shooting at the big priority targets. You're shooting at vehicles or shooting at monsters. They're wounding on 2s sometimes. You get +1 to wound from... They get +1 to hit if they shoot at a vehicle, and Longstrike gives +1 to wound if they're on a vehicle. And you get a free reroll. So you're rerolling 1s to hit, hitting on 3s, and you get a reroll either a 2 to hit or a 1 or a 2 to wound. Yeah, that she gives something in combat.
While a Threadturga is leading a unit melee weapon equipped by this model, in that unit have devastating wound ability.
I don't know. Who can she join?
Well, they come in as a unit of 2.
Uh-huh.
And I guess I can join a Sacrosanct squad.
Yeah.
But I'm quite sure I need to take both.
Correct.
While Agatha is part of a unit, each time this unit performs an act of faith, the result of one of the miracle dice is a 6.
Seems good.
No, I misread. Of the miracle dice used in that act of faith is first improved by 1 to a maximum of 6.
Oh, so you can't get a 7?
No, but I can generate more devastating wound if I have a 5 magic dice. Ha!
Yeah. I don't know how many points they are. So what are the other units they can join?
Basic bitches, sacks, dominion, and retributors.
You said dominions and retributors?
Mm-hmm.
And is it more devastating wounds in combat?
Only, yeah, so that would be good only with the sacks.
Yeah. So...
And can I put 2 leaders, like 1 paladin, 1 Estrid, and...
It specifically says if you can or cannot on the character's entry. So, like, in the Space Marine book, you can if it's, like, the Ancient. Or if it's a lieutenant and a captain. It specifically allows you to.
What does it say? It says it can join blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so if you look at the characters, it says it can join regardless if there's another character or not in there. Which is a bummer, because I really want the Imagine Fire and a Canoness in your Sacrosanct.
Why the Imagifier?
Because she gives her a 2+ armor save.
Wait, have I been cheating?
No, I told you they had a 3-up armor save.
And I 100% have been playing it at a 3-up armor save. I have not been cheating. I would never dare.
You never dare? Learning how to play your army in practice games with the new edition where everything changes?
I would never dare. Yeah, neither the Palatine nor Agatha and friends.
But if you look up the medic.
Missionary?
No.
The Hospitalier?
Yeah.
Na, 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 na. Hospitalier. If this model is attached to a battle sister quad, even if a canoness or palatine can be attached.
Yeah. You see, it gives you the the
At the end of your
stipulation.
movement phase, one friendly character in this unit heals. While this model is within a unit, feel no pain ability. No.
Yeah, but with a 10-girl sister squad, you're just not taking the hospitaller.
Why?
Because they're just not worth it.
With the 10 sacrosands?
Read what it says. I know, I'm mean.
I need to read the rules?
I mean, if we're going to learn how to play, yeah.
I expect you to tell me all the rules. Well, this model... Oh, yes. It says here. Here. It says here. Suck it, Eloise.
Yet I don't know why there's such a prohibition. Like, who cares?
With the join?
Yeah.
Oh. Because if they can join Sacrosanct, then sisters might be decent, and we would not want that.
You salty girl.
I'm salty. We'll see what it looks like when I have the emulator and all of that good
Did you buy an emulator?
So from Corey, I bought. Castigator, Exorcist, 20 Sax, 10 Seraphim, 15 Zephyrim, 2 Imagifiers.
And there you go.
I 100% did not buy an emulator.
Alright. So we've been streaming for about an hour and 15 minutes. How are you feeling about it so far?
I mean, I won't stop painting if we stop, so...
What's that?
I will not stop painting if we stop streaming, so it's up to you.
Alright. Yeah, let's...
Actually, the question is, do we still have anyone watching?
No.
No. Shit, because I would have asked them, can they hear me clearly since I don't have a mic?
Alright, well, why don't you show off what you're working on and what you've accomplished in the last hour? Here, let me transition to you. Boop.
Well, that's not in the last hour, but...
Yeah. Here, flip your paper top side down. Woohoo! Party time! So you got gold done on everybody?
Almost.
What's the next step after the gold?
Brown. After brown, the white and the red. The white on the purity seals.
Okay.
And the skulls. And the red on the purity seals. I'm going to take some of that Warlock bronze.
We might be running low on that one. Oh, probability said he's still watching and can hear. I don't know what you're worried about. You're loud.
Thank you.
And then you got dry brush the blue?
Yeah. I
You
would
think
never forget dry brushing the blue.
Never. Do you think you're going to finish them today?
I don't know. So I currently do not know if I want to finish the gold on at least the ones that I know I'm going to use. Because I really like that Repentia Superior.
Okay.
Which is not a Repentia Superior. But I like her.
Here, put it down on the paper towel.
Put it down!
Yeah, It's just a little blurry. I don't know.
I mean, I can.
Here.
No, that don't help.
Well. Okay. No, it doesn't help at all. You just can't see anything now.
Ow. I think I stepped on your arms.
Oh no.
I think what we need to do is to put that camera up because we're closer than the focal closest Poctus Proxima. There you go. But then I don't want to show off my t-shirt either. There you go.
Nerd stream after dark. I think there was a whole lot of boob in that picture, just so you know.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Or are you? Yes, Eloise's only fans.
And then I'm going to fudge around with that. No, that's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh.
You broke it.
I don't know. I don't know if we're still alive or not. I think we're still alive. Look. No. Don't touch nothing. Wait for the program to respond.
Okay.
I think we're still alive.
Well,
I'm gonna go back to painting. Finish that first.
alright, apparently we're still alive.
And I think that's amazing. OBS just crashed, but we're still live, so.
It's just coming in choppy.
Uh,
Might have to restart it.
we 100% would have to restart it.
Yeah. No, we crashed it. Alright. We gotta restart it.
Is it coming back?
Well, yes, but we can't do anything because OBS is broken. Let's just restart it. Rip off that band-aid and restart it. Alright. And